Joining us now to talk about her Saturday job is the former model and author Jilly Johnson. Jilly, it is wonderful to see you, looking wonderful as ever. So tell us, what was your Saturday job that got you onto into the world of work?
Well, I had two jobs on a weekend. I had a Saturday job in a bakery, which I absolutely loved. I just loved the smell of freshly cooked bread. It was just super. And I earned money. I had pocket money all to myself to do with as I wished. And so I felt very fortunate. And then I'd trot around to the post office with my little book, and I'd put in 7 and 6pence.
Wow.
And then I had a Sunday job in a mushroom farm too. And I think in those days, it was a great achievement for kids of 15 and 16 to be able to be independent like that. And
I've got to talk about this bakery, because what I can't believe is we had the other week another gorgeous lady and a top model, Angie Best, who also worked in a bakery, and she loved the donuts. So I have to say, I wonder what this bakery connection were. And were you a fan of the donuts and the buns?
Oh, I love the cream slices. Absolutely love that. And yes, the donuts. And a really perfect donut would be when you bit into it, the jam would just explode everywhere.
Oh, no.
And that was
Jilly, now I'm starving.
Yes.
So, Jilly, tell me, how did you make the jump from being in a bakery or picking mushrooms in a mushroom farm to being with Nina Carter in Blonde on Blonde?
It was just, as they say, it was serendipity. It was just being in the right place at the right time. I don't think that I was ever cut out to pick mushrooms for a living,
No.
but I enjoyed it while I did it. And it was just being spotted and being around at the right time.
So when you say spotted, what do you mean by spotted? Is it back in the day that you'd be out shopping and you get spotted?
Yes, in the 70s even, even way back there. Yes, it was just someone in the street said, "Oh, why don't you come and try modelling?" And I thought, "Oh, okay, I might earn extra pocket money." So that's how it all started. Pocket money, savings, post office account. It was very special to be independent in those days. I don't believe that kids today, I suppose there's health and safety and all sorts of serious security reasons why kids don't do Saturday jobs, but it's a shame. I think it is a great introduction to having a work ethic.
You see, there you talked about independence, and you talked about, I guess it's seizing opportunities when they come your way. But do you think having that Saturday job taught you independence in a way? You were dealing with customers, speaking to people all the time. You could have an adult conversation, be disciplined, be there on time. So do you think that in a way helped you be out and about, spotting opportunities, connecting with people?
Absolutely. It taught me about communication with the public. It also taught me how to budget. And I never went overdrawn or lived with outside of my means. And my pocket money was precious to me. I think it taught me a lot in life.
That's really interesting, because it was a time then that we didn't live on borrowed money. There wasn't credit cards, so we did live within our means then.
We tried to. We've always tried to. You're still good at living within your means.
Yeah.
What was that something you're better with when you...
I am not. Do you know what, Esther? I think it's given me a really good grounding, because I'm one of those people that don't like to be in debt, and I would never buy something that I couldn't afford. And I really believe it really put me in good stead.
And tell us a little bit, because you became an author in the 90s. You wrote a couple of books. How did that come about?
Because I suppose I was approached by Simon & Schuster to write a novel, a kind of Jackie Collins racy
number.
Novel. And
did he think you'd know all about that?
Well, he must have. I mean, I think in those days, being in the gossip columns quite a lot was I think there was the opinion that I had a really racy tale to tell, and I tried my best. So I have a few novels out, and yes, I enjoyed writing.
So what are you up to now, Jilly? What's happening?
Well,
I
at
know
the
that you're a
moment,
mum and a
I've
grandma, but what else are you up to?
Yes, I am a mum and a grandma. At the moment, I've just come in from walking the dogs. Got two Great Danes, and it's a hectic life. I thought being in the country, it would be, more relaxing, but I don't have time to do anything. It's extraordinary. One is under the opinion that when one is sort of retired and you get a little bit older, that life becomes easier. But if anything, it's got busier.
And I have done quite a few charity things together. I was, during the kind of breaks between the two lockdowns, I ended up going to Jilly's, and we were doing something for veterans and for the mental health of veterans. What did we do? We dressed up in leggings and leg warmers. I think it was a homage to your 70s days.
Yeah. Yes, it was the 70s, a take off the 70s with the leg warmers.
That's
yes.
right, exactly. So I know that you do a lot of things like that, don't you? And you still keep involved in a lot of charity work.
I am particularly passionate about our war veterans, and I just think that they get a bit of a rough deal, to be quite honest with you. We should look after our own first before we can look after anybody else, and they really deserve. They honestly really deserve to have some kind of benefit having served us. I mean, in America, if you see people on public transport, for example, a veteran, a war veteran, people are brought up to go and say, thank you for your service. And I don't think our veterans have the recognition they deserve.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
And I think lots of people think that as well. Sometimes maybe they don't know what they could do to help, because we do recognise these people are saying we're going to put our life on the line for all our citizens and our country. And I think you just need to hold that in the back of your mind. But I think some people might not know how to help them. But I think that simple thank you is probably would mean a lot
more
to an ex-officer, an ex-veteran.
I must shout out Icarus. Icarus was the charity that we were doing it for, and Simon,
That's the one.
our main veteran there, and they do a lot of work to help veterans with their mental health, because a lot come back very low. So a shout out to Icarus. Now, one of the questions I want to ask you, Jilly, is what job would you have done if you hadn't done, because we've been looking at the papers today where Paul McCartney says that if he hadn't have become a Beatle, he would have become an English teacher. So I thought that was really interesting. I thought, and we'd like to ask our audience as well, what jobs would they have done if they hadn't have become what they were? But what would you have done?
Oh, I don't know. Probably something to do
Own a bakery?
with animals. A bakery. No, I'd be too tongue-tested by now if I had a bakery. But I'm not sure. Just life took me into on that road. I suppose possibly little bit like Paul McCartney, I would have quite liked to have written. And I still do a little bit for the papers. I do a little bit of health and beauty and just living in today's world, basically, which isn't easy these days.
No, it is challenging. But let me tell you, not only are you doing it well, but you look fabulous while doing it. So you are the person that I want to take health and beauty advice from, Jilly, because you always look completely glamorous and completely lovely.
So
my goodness,
what we're saying is keep doing what you're doing, and we'll be following you with whatever it is you do. Look, Jilly, I want to say a big thank you. Thanks for coming on and sharing your Saturday and Sunday jobs with us. They served you proud.